Hello, and welcome to our presentation. My name is Chelsea, and our group members include Jameer, Matthew, Thomas, and Lee. We are Group 3, and our objective is to enlighten you on managing up for the purpose of improving ineffective and dysfunctional workplace relationships.
Thank you for that introduction, Chelsea. You will all have, at some point in your career, an ineffective boss. Bad bosses make work less enjoyable, limit your professional growth, and often fail to produce the results that are expected of them. There are three common types of ineffective leaders that you might find in the workplace. Incompetent bosses, those that simply don't have the skills or capabilities to lead a team. Micromanagers, those that overcomplicate your work by getting too involved or not delegating effectively. And conflict averse managers, those that avoid difficult decisions or fail to advocate for it. In addition to poor leadership, many of you will also work on teams where office politics make it difficult to form collaborative relationships. Competition for firm resources is fierce. You might be under intense pressure and afraid to fail. You might also feel that you're not receiving the recognition you deserve. Combined, these factors contribute to poor communication in the workplace and ultimately dysfunction. In conclusion, managing up can be an effective workplace strategy when done appropriately. However, when managing up is done for negative or unethical reasons, it can lead to a toxic work environment and damage both the employee and the organization. With that, I'll pass back to Chelsea to discuss potential solutions.
Thank you, Jameer, for identifying the problem as ineffective leaders in dysfunctional workplaces. So let's assume you have this problem and you're experiencing interpersonal conflict within the workplace. What can you do about it? You can manage up. The first step in doing so is to observe your manager's work and personality style. A suggestion located in the book Managing Up, 59 Ways to Build a Career Advancing Relationship with Your Boss. A recommended guide for improving boss to employee relationships. According to authors Deborah Singer and Michael Dobson, gaining basic knowledge of personality style coordinates common goals shared amongst employees. Learning your boss's management style and communication preferences creates a mutual growth and understanding. Once these styles are aligned between boss and employee, problems may be resolved and the workplace relationships improve. Assessing manager work style and personalities before coming up with solutions on what to do when they're not leading effectively is an efficient solution for maintaining a positive relationship with ineffective leaders. Managing Up therefore advises professionals to learn about the different personality and communication styles of people in their workplace, especially that of their superiors. Next, we have Tom covering the fundamentals of managing up.
Thanks, Chelsea. So you sort of alluded to this on your last slide, but the first thing you want to do is take a look at your boss's working style. You might ask yourself, what are my boss's habits in the workplace and how do they communicate? What are their expectations for the team and the way we work as well? The next thing you want to do is take a look at your own strengths and weaknesses. So what are some of my talents that we can leverage to better communicate with my team? At the same time, let's take a look at some of the weaknesses you might have and any habits that might be getting in the way of your relationship between you and your boss. And then, so once you've taken a look at your boss's working style and you've assessed your own strengths and weaknesses, the next thing you want to do is adapt your habits and way of working accordingly so that both you and your boss are aligned. Now, next, you'll hear from Matt, who will talk a little bit about some of the specific things you can do, some takeaway tactics for managing up.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Tom, for providing the fundamentals of managing up. In this section of our presentation, I will discuss some important actions that you can do to develop strong relationships with your managers and improve your work situation. First, it is vital to remain organized no matter the circumstance. Even if your management is ineffective, staying organized will enable you to be prepared and adaptable to address any possible issue. Also, clarify the expectations of your management. Ensure that you understand what is expected of you and that they likewise know what you expect from them. This will help you avoid misunderstandings, ensure that you are working towards the same goals as your management. It is also very important to maintain a paper trail. This step involves taking notes of significant conversations and decisions and commitments that you make with your management. Having a record of these interactions will help avoid miscommunication in the future, and it will enable you to refer to concrete documentation whenever necessary. The book Managing Up provides great insight for advocating for yourself. Remember that nobody cares more about your position and work than you do. On our next slide, you can see that if you have a problem, provide solutions along with your concerns. Your manager will value your foresight and they will be more willing to collaborate with you in the future. Also, choose your battles wisely. Make sure that you focus on the issues that genuinely matter and your situation will improve. Don't waste that valuable time and energy on irrelevant issues. Before taking action, ask the important questions such as how can I build trust with my management, or how can I help foster a positive and collaborative team environment? Ensure that you have all of the necessary information that you need to succeed. And finally, always avoid manipulation. Manipulating your manager can only harm your relationship with them and diminish your credibility in the workplace. Now, in the next part of our presentation, Lee is going to discuss some important insights to consider when you are managing up. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Now it's time for wrapping things up. So there are two major takeaways from our group's presentation. The first one is how managing up can help you, and the second one is how exactly we can do to manage up. So obviously there are tangible benefits for both the managers and employees. So through managing up, the managers and employees can build trust and bonds among each other. And then through those bonds and trust, they can advance their career and meet their respective performance goals and build relationships and influence. By doing so, they can get their jobs protected, get recognized, and be more visible. So on the next slide, we're going to talk about how to manage up, the major takeaway. So my advice would be to be a boss detective. That means you need to first watch and observe, and then pay attention to the preferences and styles of your boss. Next, you need to learn, grow, understand, and implement what you observed. So now, last but not least is that you should try to act accordingly to the dynamics in your workplace, because the workplace is changing rapidly and is always changing. So those are the two major takeaways. Now we'll welcome your questions. Okay, thanks for your time. This is the Group 3's presentation.